Hey everybody, it's Susan and Christine with the Pre-Law Collaborative back with another one of our videos. This one is, should I take the LSAT again? This is one of the questions that we have gotten in over a decade of working with people applying to law school. The scores are out. And generally, people get what they were practicing. So, if you did, that's terrific. Some people maybe got a point or two better, worse, but some people had a really bad day. So, Christine, what should the people who got their practice score or got a little bit better, what should they do now? Should they be taking this test again to like get one more point?
That's a great question. If you got above what you were studying at when you were taking those practice exams, it really is most likely time for you to put the test behind you. It can be really hard because when you see, oh, wow, I got this particular score, sometimes you really want to take it again. Like, if I could get this score, I could get a little bit higher. You really don't want to put yourself through that. You got a solid score, one that you were studying for, and let's say, awesome, job well done, move on to some of the other components. Now, the little caveat there is if you didn't actually put any study time in and you got a particular score, the question there becomes a little bit more nuanced because if you know you actually didn't study well and you excelled in the exam, there is a chance that you could score much higher. But for people who really took the time to study, you're going to plateau at a certain point and you're not going to have that huge rise in a test score that you might be wanting. So, really put the test behind you. Let's move forward to some other things. And congratulations on that.
Okay, so for the people who got where they were practicing, leave this alone. And that will be hard for some of you because some of you are perfectionists and you know that you got one more point or two more points, and maybe you could, but we don't actually think that's probably worth your time. Okay, but there are some of you who may have run into having a very bad day, not feeling well, getting anxious at the test. And so we need to talk about you. And also, this was the last test with analytical reasoning, otherwise known as the logical games, on it. So, should that affect people's decision here, Christine?
Yeah, there are a couple of things here. I mean, once again, if you actually put a lot of time into the exam and you studied hard and this is where you were scoring, the question I think for this particular year really does go back to the logic games. So, how did you do on that section? If that section really tripped you up and taking the exam again in, say, August without that particular section may actually boost your scores, it could definitely be worth your time and energy to study again. Don't just put it behind you, right? Study for this next exam and see what happens. And then if you are someone that had a bad test day, I mean, Susan and I, we've worked with people who got in a car accident right before the exam or who were sick. And so really their test day didn't reflect the studying that they put in. And then there are people who just didn't have the time or just didn't put the time into the studying. Many times that means you should be sitting for the exam again. But don't just repeat the same thing that you did and expect a different outcome, right? We do have those few outliers that I just mentioned, but really, you need to look back at what you did to prepare for this exam and think, are there some things that I can change, that I can tweak? Where did I do really well? Where did I not do so well? Use the data that you gained from this particular exam to help inform what you're going to be doing to prepare for the next exam. But there are times where it makes sense to sit for the exam again.
Look, sometimes this is really, really hard. We all know that maybe we could do just a tiny bit better. It's so tempting. But what we want to say to you is do not repeat the same process and expect a different outcome. It's not going to happen unless it's about the logic games, and then that's different. And also, look, talk this out. Talk this out with yourself. Talk this out with some people you trust. And if you need to, talk it out with us. Send us a question through social media or through email. We answer them in our videos, or send us an email and let us know what's going on in your case. Take the time to make a good decision, and look forward to hearing from you.